Okay, we're going to go over how to derive the equation of a circle using Pythagorean theorem. So what do we know about how to find the equation of a line, or what we need to find the equation of a line? So hopefully you remember from last year that you either need slope and a single coordinate point, or if you don't have slope, you have at least two coordinate points so that you could find slope. So x1, y1, and x2, y2. What do you need in order to find the equation of a circle? Well, you kind of need to know where the circle is located, and the point to which we're going to center ourselves is the center of the circle. So we would need to know where the center is. And then besides the center, we need to know magnitude-wise how big this circle is. And we measure circles using a radius or a diameter, but we'll for this purpose, the radius would be enough information to give us how large that triangle or small that triangle is. Now I'm going to go ahead and do a few things on the graph that it's asking me to do. First, it says plot 0, 0, and label that center HK. So we're not always going to be centered at 0, 0. That point can be anywhere else. That's why we're generalizing it. Okay, so it does say create a circle with a radius of 5 with your compass. However, assuming you don't have a compass at home, or you might not have one available to you, for your homework assignments, what I'm going to ask that you do is have at least 4 points besides the center. That's to the left, right, up, down from the center. So I plot the center, go right 5, left 5, down 5, and up 5. Looking ahead at step 3, it did also ask that we plot 4, 3, and that was a point on the circle. So what we do is we're going to sketch a circle that goes through those points as best as we can without a compass. And then what we'll do is label that point, keep it the same color, label that point 4, 3. We're going to label that point x, y as they asked us to do. And then they did say in step 4 to draw a right triangle that goes through the center and also intersects at 4, 3. And that line's not wanting to move to 4, 3. So I'll keep it there for now. Just assume that it is lying on 4, 3. And let's go ahead and draw that. Okay, so they did ask that we label the legs A, this leg B, and then the hypotenuse we're going to call R. Okay, so the tricky part of this was step 5. How do we represent each one of the legs without using numbers? Well, I know my triangle is not exactly perfect, but if we look at where that coordinate point is, 4, 3, when we plotted it, we went right 4 and up 3, or in other words, we went over right 4 is the change of x, and then up 3 is the change of y, which should sound vaguely familiar to you guys, or really familiar to you guys in terms of what you learned last year in slope. So let's start off with A. How do I represent A without saying I went right 4? Well, that was the change of x. And if I look at the x coordinates that I have here, I have this x coordinate and this x coordinate. One, a point on the circle, x, y, and the other one, the center. So the change of x would be x minus h. Okay, and then what would b be? B would be the change of y of those two coordinate points. So y minus k. And then the hypotenuse c is equal to the radius, r. And so if I plug everything into Pythagorean theorem, I have c squared equals a squared plus b squared, or in other words, r into c. So r squared equals x minus h in for a squared, and then substitute y minus k in for b. That gives me my equation of